Bullies end up on the street. I just realized, and the homeless shelter staff are also gonna end up on the street. But like, oh my god, they they weren't actually bullies until they did that. And apparently Tiffany was accusing me of bullying her since she was a kid, which wasn't true. In fact, it was um all three of them, including Sean. Oh, and sorry, so it's four of them. Four of them bullying me since I was a kid. And then I went to school, and this is what the kids at my elementary school were saying. All of them except me. I was the only one who didn't do that. Bully other people and steal from other people, because there's this 8th grade teacher and he was trying to convince everyone, like, oh, you think she's really special? She's like literally nothing. Like, you know this book called The Giver? That's literally her. She's a giver. She's gonna give us all of her stuff if we just steal it from her. You can't steal it from her. It's possible. You can use her stuff. Like, you can just take it from her. And he believed it. He believed that's how people acquire things. And I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, you can. Obviously, you can steal. What do you think stealing means? What is the definition of stealing? It means you are illegally acquiring goods or products from people that you don't have legal rights over. So you're just taking whatever you want, even though it belongs to somebody else. And he's like, yeah, you can do that. And I'm like, yeah, people know that they can steal. Obviously, like, what are you saying? Why do you think people like don't do that? This is what happens if you steal. If you bully kids, you end up in a homeless shelter and on the street. All of them used to be bullies, and I'm like, is this why you have no friends? Like, they were trying to convince me they're not that bad. Like, not all of us are the same, even though we all bully other people, as in they have behavioral problems and they've incurred some mental health problems because of it. But I'm like, no, all of them are mentally ill. Like, most of them aren't. That's the thing. And they're like, I don't know what bullies are. Maybe they're slaves or something. Maybe that's what that means. They're slaves. But like, yeah, they're bullies or slaves or servants, depending on the type of person, personality, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I was like, they all end up on the street. I'm like, how? And the thing is, the shelter staff actually haven't done any other bullying until they were met me, and they were already incredibly jealous of me. And the people who live at Lakeshore, which is like downtown Toronto near the lake, they were only bullying me because I was pretty, which is by definition bullying. So it's when you're harassing somebody because that person is better than you in some way. That's bullying. Right? It's not a put down, it's literally just called bullying somebody. If you bully someone, that means you have no legal rights and you have no legal defense. And that person's not going to be your friend or help you and going to tell everyone that you have behavioral problems, which is true. Even if you don't do that, people know you're going to likely do that again, and they're going to see that from you when you try to defend yourself. And if people ever ask about what happened, they're going to say, oh, it's really obvious that you're just lying or covering up for the fact that you're bullying somebody. Right? Um, yeah, all bullies get jealous. They think that they're better than everyone else, and they can constantly find reasons to belittle people that they feel inferior to. Or they are, rather, it's not feeling, it's legitimately they're inferior to a person, and their response isn't admiration or respect or even praise in effort to befriend that person. It's literally trying to belittle and damage a person so that they can be just as bad as they are. That's called bullying. And the reason why people do that is because they want to end up on the street. They don't want to have a job, they don't want to have friends, they don't want to have any work or social obligations, right? They don't want to have a life, they just want to like sit on the street and do nothing all day. That's why they bully other people. And they were all bullies. The thing is, like what I was mentioning before, the homeless shelter stuff weren't actually bullies until they did that to me. and neither were anyone else. But because they did that, it just kind of fucked them up. Like they were trying to hide it. You know what I mean? It's like they didn't want to be a bully, even though they knew like, oh, I most likely am the type of person to bully someone. But I'm gonna do my best not to do that. I'm gonna try to find myself in situations where I'm not likely to bully somebody, and including the police officers and the Canadian government, they're all bullying me because I'm better than them, which is so counterintuitive to living in a society, right? Which is why they're slaves. That's where all the whole slave schematic came from, because you're not supposed to put them in any authority positions. You're supposed to put them very low and then force them to work really menial, meaningless jobs, because at least they're preoccupied with doing something else, but they're not in a position where they have authority over other people. So typically, they don't have to work with other people. They never meet the clients directly. Only one that they are supposed to see at work are their direct supervisors and other people who work there. Those are slaves. Like if you put a slave in any customer service or waitress positions, you're gonna actually ruin your business. As in, if you have a bully working for you, they're gonna actually lose all your customer base and have people legitimately slander you and your entire family, and you're gonna lose everything because you're gonna have a lot of lawsuits and a lot of problems from hiring that bully, which is why they're trying to do the anti-discrimination and anti-bullying thing. But yeah, they didn't know that was what they were doing. I was like literally telling the police, you know, you guys are bullying me, right? Like this is what bullying is. Like the people said all that kind of stuff on TV all the time ages ago about please don't bully other people. Back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they used to have these tapes that they showed to kids about what is bullying, why is it not okay. Please don't do anything like this. And if you're ever getting bullied, make sure to tell a teacher or a counselor or any authority person. La la la. And I'm like, yeah, they already went over this kind of stuff years ago. I'm like, how are you not learning this by now? Like, why are you still bullying other people? And the reason why they end up on the street is because they bully people. They don't understand how it's affecting their reputation. They don't understand that people don't want to be near them because they're so unpleasant. And every time somebody wants to be friends with them, they can't be friends with anybody else because they keep bullying everyone else around them. And every time they try to introduce them to another person, they just ruin that relationship too. So now that person can't hang out with that person or has to hang out with that person alone all the time. And it's like, I have to hang out with you alone, and I can't hang out with you with other people that I like for you to behave around. So, and every time I do that, you just start bullying me, right? Because now I have more friends than you, thus I'm better than you, thus like you're jealous, thus you keep bullying me, right? And it's like, how are you like? I'm like, how do you not know what bullying is? Like, you think that I'm gonna get affected by your bullying? Why do you think they're doing bullying prevention? Because one victim? No, they're doing bullying prevention to stop you from ruining your own life because it's costing people money. And now they have a bunch of useless citizens, right? And you think like people are gonna have enough money to support you? Like, if you bully other people and that's the reason why you end up on the street, most likely that is the reason. Not always, but guaranteed, if you're a bully, you're gonna end up on the streets. That's a guarantee, 100%, no way around it. If you bully people, you're gonna end up on the streets. That's what that is. And when you live in a homeless shelter, right, that means that, like, or on the street, if they don't have homeless shelters, that, like, literally, that means your life is over. Like, no one wants to support homeless people. That's the thing. Like, if they find out that homeless shelter people were all bullies, right, and they were abusing other people and taking advantage of other people, and that's why they ended up there, and that's the only people that are homeless, then why on earth would anybody want to pay tax money to support those kinds of people if they're gonna go outside and do the same thing to innocent people and new citizens here? Or we just had a baby, or like my kid, 10 years old, was walking around in the neighborhood and he started getting bullied by this homeless guy. Like, why is he here? And he's gonna file reports, and then now they're trying to convince, because the police are bullying me too. They're like, oh, you have to feel bad for the homeless guy, and I'm like, why would I feel bad for the homeless guy who's bullying other people? Like, clearly he's a threat to people who live there. And you're telling me people have to pay for him to live there while he's actively threatening and ruining them and hurting their chances of living a peaceful and happy life? Like, that makes no sense to me. Why would anybody support that? Obviously, they're not going to. Right? Like, who's gonna actively support people who's bullying other people for no reason? Well, that's by definition bullying. This person's bullying people for no reason, is harassing people on the street, and other people who are making a lot of money has to support that. For what? What reason? That's what I'm thinking. Maybe not everyone agrees with me on this. Some people still want to support them because they're still people. They're like, yeah, I know they're bullies, I know they're awful, but like, they still deserve a right to live. I'm like, are you gonna pay for it? You're gonna pay for them to live here. It's gonna come out of your money, your bank account, whatever savings you have is got a portion of your paychecks you're willing to spend to have those people live there. And you think other people are gonna agree with you doing that? Yeah, but yeah, I was being bullied. Not everybody who's homeless is a bully, but every bully is a homeless. They live on the street. They have no friends, and they can't even build skills, and they can't even get employed. And unfortunately, once you do bullying once, that's it. You know how people have that drug warning thing? The drug warning thingies. Like, this is your brain on drugs. This is your brain healthy. Don't ever do drugs ever again. Just one time is gonna ruin your entire life. That's not drugs. It's called bullying. Don't bully people. It's gonna ruin your life. Yeah, and people are trying to accuse me, like the cops and other people that I met were accusing me of bullying Tiffany. And I'm like, she was literally bullying me nonstop, day in, day out, and would stalk me around the neighborhood, and stalk me after school, and while I was at home, staring at me, and do everything to like talk shit about me behind my back because people didn't know she was a bully, because it seemed plausible. She looked so like haggard and poor, and she's just like, oh, I'm just a poor person, like my family's really poor, and like I know she's really pretty, but she like always calls me ugly because she's pretty, and like you don't know what it's like to live with her. Like she just knows how to behave when she's in public, but at home she's like really really mean to me, and that's why I'm having problems at school. And I'm like, that's clearly a lie. Like she said those things because, and she even pulls this like weird face where she's like begging and she's like starts crying, like fake crying and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, she's doing that because this is what bullies do to make me look like a bad person, that so that she doesn't get caught bullying other people, so it doesn't affect her reputation. She doesn't end up on the street. And I'm like, yeah, that's called bullying somebody. You don't think people are gonna find out? You end up in prison and then on the street, and no one wants to hire you after because you're just such an awful person. They never apologized for any of it either. So like, the reason why nobody believed me was because they thought it was plausible for that to be true. Like I'm like, are you that dumb? Like, yeah, I know there are people who can behave themselves in public and are awful at home, but it's really obvious. Like, it's so obvious unless you don't know how to read. I mean, which is what you're telling me. You don't know how to read. You're telling me you're illiterate. That's concerning. And it's, I guess they wanted to be possible because they were jealous of me too, and they wanted to bully me. They're just using anything as an excuse to bully me, right? And she was like say, like, honestly, what she was doing, that's whatever she was accusing me of was what she was doing, which is behaving herself in public and then bullying me while nobody was looking, or when everyone else was bullying me was bullying me. And I'm like, yeah, that's called being a bully. Yeah, that's called bullying somebody. Why would I want to be friends with a bully? They don't have any friends. I know on kids shows and on TV shows, like on Arthur, there's Binky Barnes, the school bully. Yeah, they have friends and they still hang out. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like when people say that kind of stuff, like what do you want them to tell you? Like, oh, don't worry, don't cry, like don't worry, because I don't want to see you cry. Oh, don't worry, like you know what, like this guy, his name is Buster. Yeah, his name is Buster, and I met him through my friend, and he's a bully too, but he has friends. Like his classmates still hang out with him. You know what? You probably like the only reason you're like having a hard time, and like it just won't. You know what? Like it's just because like you're around the wrong people. That's why. And you know how there are bullies is when they give you the wrong advice, knowing that it's not you, but it's just them bullying you, saying, no, you are the bully, like you're the bad person here, when you're the one who's getting bullied. So this is like, if you're ever getting bullied and you want to see if that person's a bully or not, they won't be able to stop themselves. You ask them an advice or question about what you should be doing. Just tell them like, oh hey, getting bullied by this guy. Like, what do you think the problem is? Like, what should I do? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. And if they start saying like, no, it's you know what, you think it's like it's honestly it's you. Yeah, you're the problem. Like you're being bullied, but you're not actually being bullied. You're the bully, and that's why people are bullying you because you're being a bully, and that's why they're doing that. Yeah, that's called a bully. That person's a bully. That person's not your friend. That's person not friend material. That's not a friend material. A friend material is like if that person, if you're getting bullied and you tell your friend's like, okay, we're gonna have to do something about that. Yeah, that's a friend. Whereas a bully is like, no, that's you, it's your fault. You're not getting bullied, you're just lying about that part. That person just doesn't like you and you're just calling it bullying. That's a bully, that's what bullies say. They all say that stuff. They're slaves. Yeah, they're literal slaves. They're slaves to humanity. They're slaves to this idea of social acceptance and recognition. And they're slaves to this, they're slaves to power. That's what the slave is. They want power and authority without working for it. They think that it's their God-given right to be the king or queen, to be everyone's boss. Like it's their God-given right. It's not something that people work for. It's something that they deserve because they're born. So that's a bully, that's a slave. I mean, in the old days, you used to call them slaves. I mean, recently, I mean, in the 60s and stuff, they used to call them bullies. And currently, I think they're just called. I don't know how to say this. Some of them are just, they're not mentally ill. They're not. I know it's just the symptoms and their emotional responses fit to the T what mental illness is, right? And sometimes they are diagnosed with mental disorders. Sometimes they do have mental disorders, but actually the truth is they're not. You know a person when you meet and you're like, oh, you're kind of like this and you're kind of like that. I actually don't know what you are. Like, what type of person is this? Like, oh, that guy's an artist, that guy's a dancer, that guy's a singer, that guy's a doctor, that guy's a surgeon, that guy's an astronaut. Like, I can't, like, you kind of seem like this, and you seem like something else, but I don't really know what you are. That's when you know you've met a slave. Like, this is kind of like, do they ever get better? No. Is it really apparent from the start? Yeah. Are they creepy? They don't know what creepy is. Yeah, it's just weird. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the modern word for it. Like, a fuckboy. Yeah, a fuckboy is a boy that hasn't ended up on the streets yet. So you got him while they're hot. You know what I mean? That guy's gonna end up on the streets, homeless and broken, begging for food and sucking dick for money. Or that girl who's bullying you. But unfortunately, um, but until they end up at that point, they're not really like. out of the picture yet. Like that's just a fuckboy. A fuckboy who completes his fuckboy life cycle ends out as a homeless beggar slash or prostitute hooker or whatever. Yeah, it's like they start off as like a how do you tell it? I think that's it's just called fuckboy. They're fuckboys. I don't know what the female equivalent of that is. It's just I call that a bitch. People just call them bitches. I personally call both men and women bitches if they're bullies. I'm like that's just a bitch. Literally, they're just bitches. They're like dogs. Like they don't even think. They have very ignorant of everything, and they only care about gaining authority. They just want power and dominance over other people because they think that's how they make friends. Because they're literally like dogs that way. It's really stupid. I think it's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know why there's so many of them in America. I'm like, yo, you guys are supposed to be like working, slaving away in your home country. Like, what are you doing here? Yeah, because just everything's gonna change now, right? Because there's no society in America. It's whatever you want it to be. Sounds like a advertisement for cosmetic surgery. There's a lot of bullies around me here. If people want to decide to sign them on in a contract and hire them, by all means, they're free for selling and buying. I don't know what you would want with a slave. Like, what are you gonna do with that? Most of them are really ugly. On the off chance that you do get a somewhat decent looking slave or somebody you're willing to put money in so they can get cosmetic surgery to look decent, they're just gonna end up working as a prostitute. Is that American trash? That is American trash. Like, it's just, you know what? It's they're born like that. That's the thing. I mean, back in the 60s and 70s, they're doing a lot of like experimental research to see if they psychological research, basically behavioral research to see can we prevent this person from being that and like wasting their life and being potentially useful for society as a whole if they just don't if we can prevent their behavior from getting that bad. Can we stop that from happening? And it turns out the result was the understanding that some people are not very adept at learning life skills. Okay, fine. They call it pervasive developmental disorder. Before, okay, first it was called bullying, and then they labeled it autism, and then now they're labeling it pervasive developmental disorder. Is it treatable? If you catch it when they're children, yeah. Because based on just behavioral patterns alone and their expressive behavior, that alone is enough to treat when they're really, really young. And as they get older, they're struggling because they're starting to behave inappropriately because maybe they were fine when they're kids and they got older and they're starting to have problems like when they're in their teen to early adulthood years, maybe even later adulthood. Not always a terminal illness kind of thing, but yeah, no, it's fine if they're kids. Also fine when they're older. Yeah. Oh my god, I didn't know that was American trash. I don't know why people are saying Africa had a lot of slaves or like the pyramids and like Africans and stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's America. They have a lot of slaves here. What do you want me to do with them? Oh my god, yeah, because I'm the slave, right? I want power and dominance and authority. That's yeah, I guess you can teach them a trick or two. I don't really come in handy though, but yeah, they're literal dogs. Like dogs in human form, but like, why would you want that? It's just ew. It's creepy. It's so creepy. It's literally creepy. I'm like, ew. And like, they're so retarded. They're like socially inept. And I even like told um some guy like, oh, I always wanted to want a pit bull when I was a kid. Like the pit bull, the breed, like a breed of dog. And Tiffany knew she was bullying me, so she thought that I was talking about her. It's like, oh, you wanted me since you were a kid? You were sexually attracted to me? And then she started like doing this weird sexy stuff in front of my face and like was threatening to stab me while I was asleep if I didn't comment on how she's working on her physical appearance, right? And like she started lying to everyone saying that I said that I wanted her. I'm like, it's the same shit she was doing when she was a kid. When when she was like, yeah, she's just like, she always calls me ugly and like bullies me all the time because I'm not as pretty or as smart as her. And I'm like, you know that you're stupider and uglier than I am. I'm not actually saying this to you, and I don't have to say anything. It's just who you are comparative to me. How is that bullying you? You're saying my existence should be stopped so you can be the top person, right? It's like, I should kill myself, right? Because that's what she was telling me every day. That foster family I was living with, telling me to kill myself every fucking day because I was better than them in every single way. They're like, you need to kill yourself so we don't feel like inadequate people. Since you're so, this is the level that you're at, and this is the level we're at. If you died, the level everyone at would be like this, and there wouldn't be a disparity within the levels of acceptance. Because that only exists in our household, and outside in the real world, that doesn't exist. There are nobody better than me, and every time they meet somebody, they do the same thing, which is why they don't have any friends or any money or any savings. Much to their chagrin, I didn't actually believe them when they said that they had a lot of money. They act like they can afford it and just telling me they just don't want to buy from me. I'm like, I know your money is dwindling and your life savings and your inheritance that you already got from everyone that you know is running low. And you were doing all of this bullying and you started getting desperate and trying to convince me and getting other people to bully me, exclusively finding bullies in the area and other people who work as bullies. I mean, work, but they're bullies, right? You bring everyone down so that they will all bully me to convince me that I am a piece of shit and I should hate myself, to lower my self-esteem and think that my future is bleak and grim and everything's just gonna be the same forever and I don't even deserve to live anymore. And if I keep you in my contact because you're gonna go ahead and bully everyone that I come across, because everyone who's you come across is either a bully or just completely powerless because you're just the dominant person over everyone in life, right? They're just gonna continue to you guys are gonna continue to bully everyone you come across, and everyone's gonna be worse off than you, so they're always gonna listen to you, they're gonna always be scared of you. So that I should be scared that I don't have anyone else who I can rely on who's gonna like blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna find a job because everyone's gonna believe you guys, not me. No, I'm telling the truth, no one believes you, and blah 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 blah. Kill myself. I don't want to hear it anymore. Literally, I'm like, who do you think you're fooling? I can clearly see you spend all your money trying to convince me that you had money. That's literally slaves. Like, those slaves do all the time. It's like they're so well known for that. Oh, I'm gonna spend all of my money to make it look like I have money. I just spent like half of my life savings on one Gucci wallet. Ow. I don't even have any money to put in my wallet that I spent on buying the wallet because I just spent all my money on a fucking wallet. Slaves. Yeah, slave shit. But it's literally shit, don't believe it. Literally don't believe it. But yeah, I was trying to get rid of these guys for a long time and I didn't know how bad it was until people didn't even know that they were existing here. They're like, we didn't even know they lived here. We never see these people because they were intentionally trying to hide me from everyone. All these bullies, and they're trying to convince me that it was everyone else, not us. So it was the Korean government, it was the Canadian government. The Canadian government was bullying me, to be fair. It was everyone else who didn't know about you who was targeting you, not us. I'm like, really? Ew! They were lying about being creepy. That's not, it won't relate to the bullies, they're all creepy. But yeah, I'm just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do about that shit? I'm not doing anything. Fuck that. I'm not fucking that up, will they literally die. Oh my god, yeah, that's what I'm like. Do you think you're convincing me right now that everything you're saying is true and I just believe everything you're telling me because I'm just like you? Literally? This is weird. So weird. What do you want me to tell you? You, as in the bullies who are literally following me and copying me and bullying me because they are in love with me or what they have mental problems or something, incurring a lot of damages from doing this. Like, why would you hire bullies? You trying to ruin your business or something? You can turn them into prostitutes. Yeah, if they're like fresh and like they haven't done anything before, turn them into prostitutes. And you can pimp them out and make a lot of money. So like pimping somebody out means that like you're getting some. Let's say like I know this like there's a slave and they're waiting to be friends with me, right? What I do is I find them a job, right? If I was a pimp, or pimpette or whatever people call female pimps, I find them a job, right? And then I get them acquainted with some people in the area, right? And then like I help them work on themselves and their behavior and their clothing and like teach them how to do this. I think it's called like there was a movie of that, My Fair Lady. Yeah, that's about pimping out a woman. I know in that movie she just ended up marrying the pimp because it's a movie. It's so funny. Okay, but no, in reality, that guy's literally using her, right? It's not really obvious. I mean, kind of, but like he's using her to gain social influence and have somebody associated with him in a personal setting, right? That he knows that he also finds work for, but outside of his personal work. But he has no association. He doesn't owe her anything, but she owes him a lot, and everything that she knows is through him. Right? Same, likewise with me. If I had a guy that I'm pimping out, everything he knows will be through me. Everyone he knows is through me. He knows no one outside of what I know, and everyone that he meets already knows me and knows about me and what he's like. So he'll always be on the lower, so he'll never be able to climb up the social rank. That's called pimping somebody out. I don't know if it's illegal here. I don't think so. That's how a lot of prostitutes work here. Yeah, they find pimps and they start working for money. Yeah, except like the prostitutes work at like department stores and stuff. They don't actually have sex with people on the street because that would be illegal, right? So instead, like doing that, like they just put them in like department stores and like they put them on the floor for retail or like I don't know. Some people even work entry level office jobs like receptionists or like whatever. Yeah, they do that instead of like having sex with men for money. And because they're prostitutes, they don't even like to date or like socialize or anything. So like the pimps end up actually just having sex with them if they ever wanted to, because they're like kind of like they're never actually dating or seeing each other, but like he has somebody to have sex with all the time. Yeah, that's a pimp. Like I'm just like, how do you like? Yeah, so this guy, this amazing guy, he came when you needed all this help. Right, you don't know anyone, you have no money, you have no work experience, but you're really pretty, or like he's willing to put in an investment in you to be very attractive, and he's teaching you all these like social techniques and introducing you to all these people that you are just getting along fantastically with that he all knows. Okay, yeah, that situation right there is called you're a prostitute now. Like literally, you got picked up by a pimp. If you ever try to leave him, oh my god, you good luck getting a job ever again. You're gonna end up on the street. You're gonna go begging back to him, saying, "Please let me work for you. Like I just if things aren't working out anymore. Like I don't want anything to do with any of these people. Like I'd rather just stay with you." And then they're gonna be like, "Okay, well, I'm glad you're not gonna fucking leave again." You think you're gonna leave again? Oh my god, you stupid bitch. You know how much money you fucking cost me? He's not gonna say that to you. He's like, oh, of course, sweetie. Yeah, no, don't worry. Everything's fine. Yeah, I don't know how things work out for you. No, not so great. Okay. That's a pimp. He's not your boyfriend. He's not your husband. He's not some guy you're seeing. He's a fucking pimp. Oh my god. I was like, what? You guys don't know what a pimp is? You know, 50 Cent's not a pimp. I don't know what he's singing about that kind of shit. This is fucking weird, man. Um, can hookers work? They did an episode on South Park about pimps. Butters became a pimp. He was taking care of his girls. He gave them jobs. He got all these girls jobs, and they all knew each other because they all knew Butters, and Butters was the one who gave them all that work, right? And they were making a lot of money, and they're like, "What? You know what? You can do that for money. You know that? Yeah. You know, like, you want to go out with that guy and like waste all your time with him and not make any money? How are you gonna live, girl? Well, who do you think is gonna buy you? Yeah, guy that you're dating doesn't have enough money to buy you a fucking outfit. You can buy your own outfit. Fuck that. Buy your own outfit. Buy your own shoes. Buy your own handbags. You know, pay for your own club covers. What, you think he's not gonna leave you in the middle of the night? Trust me, he ain't shit. That guy, he's gonna leave you the first chance he sees a pretty girl. Guess what? Who finds a pretty girl? That guy looks like. I mean, I don't know what happened there. Literally, oh my god, that guy that the pimp was talking about, you know, the guy that you were dating? Yeah, did you guys get into a fight or something? I just saw him leaving with a different girl. Club. Shit. And the girl's like devastated. He's like, oh my god, my boyfriend's cheating on me. And she's crying, literally crying her eyes out because her boyfriend's cheating on her. And it's like, the pimp's like, hey, so like, you know what? I say like you should probably keep yourself busy, you know? Like just don't think about that guy anymore. Now relationship come and go, just forget about that guy, just leave him. So that's what happens. When you pimp people up, you got picked up by a pimp so he can sell you for money. Welcome to America. The more you know. Yeah. Yeah, oh, sorry, prostitutes, because they're slaves, and they work for money only. They'll never do any work for free. That's how you know it's a prostitute. Are you talking to a professional at work, or are you talking to a prostitute? A prostitute will not look at you twice. Yeah, I saw a prostitute bottom with a medical degree. I'm like, yeah, that's literally American trash. It's a doctor and a prostitute all in one. It's a two for one. I'm like, oh my god. That's so funny. I'm like, you guys are so trusting of these Americans. Like, wow. It's like you don't know what they are or what they're about. That's what Korean criminals do, honestly. In Korea, they're a criminal. Yeah, it's hard not to get caught doing that because it's actually tax evasion, technically. Because they're not. I don't know if it's called tax evasion. I think it's a separate crime in Korea. And it doesn't work. You try that? Let's see how far that gets you. They're like, okay, I dare you, try it. Try it. Try and see what happens. Learn to be a pimp in Korea. Yeah, it's fine. Find your own girl, start your own business, and get a bunch of prostitutes working for you. It's literally, they made a movie about that. It's called Parasite. Yeah, it came out last year, I think, called Parasite. It's literally what that was about. Yeah, they get them addicted to drugs. I saw that and I was like shocked. I was legit shocked, man. I was like, oh my god. He's a doctor, he's pimping out some of his patients, getting them better, but having sex with the ones that are really pretty, or the one that he can, like, get them to do work for him for free or for drugs. Basically for drugs. He's taking advantage of this woman. One of them he actually ends up marrying for marriage card to have a semblance of a normal life, you know? Like, from the surface, you know, as like a demographic point of view, this man is working as a doctor, married, lives in a nice house. No one will suspect anything about that guy. That's so normal. That's expected of that doctor, to be married and with kids and living in a nice house. Little does they know that, like, she's literally with him because he's giving her drugs. Literally, I saw that scene. I was like, oh my god. They're like about to like get it on, and then she's like, just give me drugs, okay? I'm like, yeah. She was literally begging for drugs. I was like, oh my god, I am shocked. That's how I knew it was a marriage scam. That's what I found out. Watching that movie. That movie was hilarious, by the way. Oh my god, I don't know who was the director, but it was so good. It was like that movie. Oh my god, ew. What other movie was like that? There was a movie, I think, Train to Busan. Yeah, that was really good too. It's like, don't get addicted to drugs. And then the next movie that's like very like prominent all across America is like, this is what happens if you're a drug addict. You marry that piece of shit. Your life is over. He's a criminal. Yeah, you have a nice house, but you're married to a criminal. Sucking his dick for drugs. There's the way heroin gets ya. And I'm like, oh my god, that's such a nice PSA. That's so good. That's great. And then I'm like, yeah, I don't know, dude, like, this is, I was really shocked. I was like, why are there so many, like, pimps in movies? It's like, it's just weird. We're like, I think that's why they got tricked into coming to America. You can have a life here. Don't worry. Yeah, like you don't have to work. If I like those jobs, you can be a professional or something. And I'm like, yeah, you can. I don't know why people make it sound like it's impossible because they didn't get it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, they can, but it's like, so for some people, it's obvious that you can't. Kind of like, what, you're like struggling in school and like you're just really stupid and ugly. Yeah, you can have a job. Yeah, you can have a career. It doesn't matter if you're inbred. There's no such thing as discrimination in America. And I'm like, they're causing me problems. Literally, I'm just like, you tell them all that bullshit and they actually believe you. And they actually come across people near them that aren't like that. And they get jealous immediately. And they start trying to plot on killing other people because they don't like reality. Or something? Is that what they're saying? I'm like, literally, like this. It's annoying. I'm gonna be honest. It's just like I don't wanna. Yeah, you told them that. You told them they're fine, and yeah, they have a degree and they're able to study and everything with a significant amount of help, right? They don't understand that part because they're stupid. Okay, they don't understand the whole point of a degree is to study on your own and get those grades on your own. Like if you have a tutor or somebody else who's a professor that your parents know, helping you go through all that kind of stuff and giving you notes based off to memorize, right? Like, they're doing the readings for you and giving you notes to memorize so they can pass a test, right? So if you get good grades, if you pass all those exams, as long as you get the degree, no one will know. I'm just like, literally, don't you think that's gonna cause problems for me? I can't find a job. Everyone who has housing here that I'm supposed to be eligible for won't give me housing because they're stupid. And they're starting to realize this, and they're blaming me for it, saying that it's my fault. If I was just like them, they wouldn't feel bad about themselves. And I'm like, yeah, that's called bullying. Again, American trash. There's so many of them here. They have a trash problem. I'm thinking they must like these people, right? They must like these trashy ass losers. They keep coming over here. They're not killing them off. They're not using them for anything. They just stay there, take up space, and it's cancerous to the world. It's causing global warming. The polar ice caps are melting. Fucking animals are dying, and there's rotten food being grown because trees all have rot now because of all the trash. And now we all have to put up with each other, even though it's impossible. You're literally asking for the impossible here. Literally, I'm just like, what do you want me to say? Like, I don't know why they keep doing this. Like, I met so many people who are like that, and I'm like, don't you think it's a sign when people are like, you're not actually eligible, even though you have the qualifications for it? Which means you got scammed out of your money, but you still have the degree because you claimed it as your own work. and we don't have enough evidence to convict you. It's a crime. You're plagiarizing work, you're a criminal, you're evading taxes, you're evading prison sentencing, specifically so you can work for people. You're gonna scam your way into a legitimate corporation where they make a lot of money and have a lot of people in authority position, and you think that's gonna work out well for you. Like, do you not understand what you're saying? Do you hear yourself? Do you ever write down your thoughts and say it out loud? You are gonna scam your way into a degree. So you don't know anything about that degree, but you have a degree to say that you have that degree. If people ask you questions regarding your knowledge with that degree, what are you gonna tell them? That you don't know anything? When people start talking to you about the subject that you are currently having a degree in, how are they gonna start assuming things about the institution? They're gonna be like, that's a scam school. That school's a scam, and it's being funded partly by the taxpayers. They're stealing from the government to fund a scam. That's a crime. Like, I don't understand what you're doing. And then you're gonna expect people in corporate, okay? They're unforgiving. I know, this isn't school, this is the government. The government, you know, you did that bad thing, go take a break in the prison cell for a little bit, and then you get out and just see if things can work out differently this time, you know? So I hope you really had a hard thought about it while you're in there, but what you did, you know? And then what, you're gonna go to a corporate after, you're gonna ask corporate people, hey, can you, like, you're telling them they're too stupid to understand what you're doing. Like, that's literally what you're saying. I know you don't get this because you're stupid, right? But I don't know why anybody would let you do that to anyone else, right? I'm like, you're going into corporate, right? And you're literally, not only have you ruined the school's reputation, right? Like, now the school is now facing potential legal consequences because of what you did. And if they can't even convict you for it, what are they gonna do? Right? You just shut down an entire school and invalidated everyone else's degree, right? Because you decided to scam your way into school because you just wanted to get a better paying job because you needed more money because you wanted to be better than other people. You're a slave. You're a bully. You're bullying people. That's called bullying people. You're belittling everyone else's achievements. You're saying you're just as good as they are. And at the same time, you're forcing them to accept you into their social circle when you're not actually the same thing as them. That's called bullying someone. You're bullying them. You're bullying people in authority positions who are better than you. And they can't even convict you because they don't have current evidence to say that that's what you did if there was nothing to prove that you were doing that thing that you were doing. Right? It's like, how are you gonna go ahead and feel good about yourself about it after? There's no way. You know what you did. You know what was involved, and you're gonna feel like a fraud. You don't want to think about it anymore, right? It's just weird. How are you okay with saying that to people's faces? You are saying everyone who has the same degree or has the same subject matter degree, right? Like from a different school, you're gonna go to CEOs and tell them, I know you can't tell who I am. You know, I'm gonna trick you into hiring me just so I can get more money out of you. You ain't shit. Who do you think you are? That's literally what you're telling them when you do that. That's called bullying someone. Okay? That's what you're doing. And you're saying that you're a good person. Are you also delusional on top of doing all that shit? It's literal human shit. You're fucking human excrement. You're a piece of shit. Right? You're gonna bully your way to the top. That's what that is. You're gonna bully people out of their money. That's called stealing. This is called a scam. It's called extortion and coercion. And then what? What are your plans after? How long do you think that's gonna last? But you don't think other people are gonna find out about that? Like, are you insane? You must be living in Neverland, La La Land with Peter Pan and Wendy and her friends. right? Like you're living in dreamland. You know Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch or whatever? Yeah, you're probably living there, right? Like in your mind, you're Michael Jackson's kid. Right in your mind, in your head, you are legitimately biologically related to Michael Jackson. And you live on Neverland Ranch with all of his riches and all of his inheritance funds. And you are now just as famous or associated with the world's biggest pop star. Yeah, that's you, right? Yeah, obviously. I'm like, obviously not. Like, who would say that to somebody? Literally, like, how are you okay with people telling you that kind of stuff and being happy about it? It's completely delusional. But you want to be perceived as somebody you're not, that's offensive. Why would you be happy with that kind of stuff? Literally, that is so offensive. I'm like, I get so offended when people are like, oh, I think you're Japanese. Or like, oh, you look Japanese, you look Chinese. I get offended because you're telling me that you don't know who I am, and now I have to sit down and explain to you and tell you to go away and why you should go away. Like, you're wasting my time. That's why I'm offended. I'm like, oh, what a fucking idiot. Literally, I'm just like, you. And the fucked up part is their intention is to compliment me by offending me. You think that's a compliment when you tell me you don't even know what my race is, but you're telling me what you think about my race or what you think people that I look like is like or something? Here's my educated guess on who you are, because you probably don't know who you are. I can tell you who you are. I'm like, no one asked you, dude. Literally, no one asked. Literally, no one was saying anything. You're gonna walk up to a stranger and start spreading all that bullshit for no fucking reason. Because what, you're gonna be friends with that person after? Do you think that's how friends treat each other? Well, you can go up to a stranger and practice social skills on strangers, right? That's what that's for, right? Yeah, you practice getting better in social skills on strangers on the street. That's how you improve, right? Obviously not. No, you practice your social skills as you're growing up, when you're going to school, when you're going doing your extracurriculars, when you're going out like doing family activities together, when you're out meeting new people through work or through your neighbors. Yeah, that's how you improve your social skills. You don't improve your social skills. You could even go on dates, honestly. If it doesn't work out, just think about why it didn't go well that time. And try to improve on how to make it better the next date you have with a different person. That's the great thing about dating, is that no one holds it seriously. If you meet a guy who talks about that one date you two went on years ago, everyone's gonna think he's a loser. Literally, like, what is it? Like, oh, we went on a date like fucking 5 years ago, and like she was a dirty bitch, never called me back, and I even bought her dinner. And I'm like, you still complaining about that? Dude, it was one date. Like, not me. I'm not the date, but like, if I heard a guy complain about that, I'd be like, dude, that was literally one day 5 years ago. Like, have you not gone on dates since then? Like, you're telling me you went on one bad day and you never dated again. What are you, fucking living in 50 Shades of Grey or something? What the fuck's the matter with you? That's what I would say. I'd be like, yo, get the fuck away from me, you loser. You're gonna infect me with your loser genes. Your loser influence is gonna wash all over me, and I'm gonna be a loser just by association. I'm gonna lose my face. Literally, you're gonna lose my reputation here just by standing next to you with your stinky loser breaths. Gross. But yeah, that's my fucking point. Okay? I'm just like, you can't bully your way to the top. Okay? You're bullying your way to the bottom. That's a fact. If you want to bully people, there's a lot of people on the rock bottom waiting for you. They're just like you. Literally, they're all just like you. They like to bully other people for fun. They think it's funny ruining their life and like insulting strangers for no reason. And they think every person they don't know is practice. I don't know you, so I can do whatever I want to you. Ha! That's them. That's literally what they do. I'm like, yo, that's fucking creepy. Literally, just die. Why are you still alive? Fucking creepy. Oh my god. Somebody's very angry because I told them the truth about America. There's a lot of rich people in America. That's why they come here, because they want their riches. They're gold diggers. They're like, oh, I want to be rich one day, and I can go to America and work and get all that money, and I'll have valuable things, and I have friends. I can't have that in my home country because my family is extremely poor and owes a lot of people money, and through it, if I ever wanted to live there, I would have to work my way out of it. It might even be impossible there because no one's willing to give me a chance there for whatever reason. Right? But these people said they're willing to give me a chance, so now I can send my money back to my family to get them out of debt. So now it's not going to affect my reputation because I personally did something about it. And for whatever other reason, I can do whatever I want now. And yeah, that's called dreaming, I think. It's very idealistic. Yeah, they're just gonna accept me there because everyone has to like me because there's nothing wrong with me. And I don't even know them. So why would they dislike me if I come to America? Why would that be a problem? Why won't they like me? Like, why don't you like me? Oh my god. Start crying in the middle of the street. It's so funny. Yeah, I should stop mocking people making fun of them, huh? Never. I will never stop doing that. It's too funny. It's literally hilarious. I've been like making fun of bullies my entire life because they don't know that anything. I found out a trick because they stopped telling people about slavery. I know, it's like they're like, you know how like in US it's like slavery is illegal in America. I'm like, okay, just stop making them. Stop making slaves and things. What do you want me to do about it? If slavery is an act, not a noun. I'm like, no, slavery is the act of a slave. Okay, a slave is a noun, it's a person, place, or thing, right? It's a person. A slave is a person, a type of person, okay? Like, there's different types of birds, there's different types of people. Okay, if you don't want slavery to be a thing in America, stop fucking making them. Stop it. Stop that right now. What are we gonna do with a bunch of prostitutes, okay? What are we supposed to do with them? Literally, and then the British coming over here trying to invade the territory, trying to save their reputation by saying, they're not prostitutes, that's illegal, you can't discriminate, blah 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 blah, they didn't do anything yet, nah, nah. We're gonna shoot you off your property if you ever do anything. You're gonna have to go through not only UK, but the rest of the EU if you ever do that, nah, 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 nah. You don't know me, my name's Karen, can I speak to a manager? Who owns this joint? That's what I think about white people. They're weird. They're so weird. I'm still having a hard time figuring out who's American and who's not American. I can't tell. I'm like, I don't know what American is. There's so many fucking dirty ass refugee and slaves here. And I fucking hate living here because of it. I'm like, can you send them back now? Like, somebody shoot the British off the territory. Okay, this is interfering with my life progress for no fucking reason. There's no reason, okay? They have no legal legitimate defense, regardless of what they're lying about. And they need to be shot and killed the American way. Which is through absolutely no legal defense. And interfering with other people's businesses and economy. And ruining their reputation to the point that anyone associated with them is now an enemy to anyone else who has the authority. That's the American way, okay? I'm American now because I live here. I live in America, so I'm obviously American. Why wouldn't I be American? What do you think, like, why can't I change my DNA? Like, I live here, my DNA is gonna change into American over time. I eat American food. I am American because you are what you eat, right? That makes no sense to me. I'm like, what if I eat a dick? Does that make me a dick? What if I eat a hot dog? Does it make me a hot dog? Like, what are you saying? Yeah, I'm American. If I continue to consume American products, my DNA structure is going to change. And my face is going to change one day to look American. Yeah. Like, that's psychotic. It's literally delusional, but whatever. I am not American, I'm Korean. Jesus. Oh, they're boring. The slaves, they're really boring. Yeah, slaves and refugees and all those fucking poor ass, dirty ass losers. They're boring. Stop making them. I'm sorry, you're an idiot and your husband's a sleazeball. How is your kid gonna turn out? Well, you got a family of sleazeballs. And there's like a few hookers in her family. And you're just gonna make a baby and you're gonna hope that it's gonna turn into a doctor by the force of magic and God and witchcraft. Whatever that means. Yeah, let's make some magic happen. Yeah, we're gonna like manipulate this because we're alchemists now. We can manipulate things into becoming something they aren't. That's alchemy. They actually tried that in Europe and then the Black Plague started happening. You know when a bunch of Europeans died because they got the flu or something? Yeah, I know a bunch of doctors were wearing bird masks and like in cloaks because they didn't want to get infected. I started wearing bird masks and cloaks and trying to like see if a person is sick or not, and giving them like medication if they were sick. Yeah, a bunch of people in Europe died because of the plague spread by rats or something. That's what they taught me in the history books here. They're like, yeah, in Europe, like there's like 50 million people in Europe died because they got sick from like the common flu and smallpox. They brought it over to America because that's what they think is gift giving. I thank you for letting me live in your country. Here, have my disease so you die at the same time together. Let's make a suicide pact. No thanks. You are on your own with that. Yeah, I don't plan on killing myself. I mean, you can kill me. It's called murder, but there will be blood on your hands. Yeah. Anyway. What is it like to come to America? I don't know. Why do you want to come to America? Like, literally, what's your reason? Do you need to get your family out of debt? Then yeah, you can. You should try to. Just why America? Can't you go to a different country? Can't you go to a neighborhood country or something? Just be like, yeah, you know what? I'm from Germany, but like, I need to get my family out of debt because like half of them are in prison and the other half that are in prison are in like debt to credit card companies, and no one will hire me because they heard about my family and they are a little iffy about it, and they're gonna be like, oh, why don't you learn a different language and move to a different country, or like because people speak English now, you can just like try to move to the UK or like make money and like try to like get them out of debt so you can like live your life finally. That's what you're gonna do, or you just live with your family as is or whatever. Like, you just kind of just, you know, get what you can from them or like live with your family for the rest of your life. I mean, I guess those are your two options. And they're like, yeah, you know what, I think I'm gonna take my chances in America. And then they completely forgot about their family, right? That's why it's called their family. And they're like, oh yeah, screw those guys. I got all the savings now. I'm just gonna spend all my money on myself. Fuck that. I hate living here. The food's nasty. Americans are actually very, very rude people, okay? They're very mean, and honestly, they like to literally like, for whatever reason, you can't even get a word in. Like, yeah, I get that, like, it's your property or whatever, but did I choose to be here? You're the one that chose to have the British here by not killing them when they did that fucked up shit. Should kill them ages ago. Oh, now what's happening? Oh my god, a bunch of people are threatening you. They don't have bombs, you idiot. But you think they're smart enough to figure that kind of stuff out? Well, they're gonna send a bomb all the way from Europe and bomb America because that's how people get hurt. How do they have the money and the bombs, like, and the engineering for it? Just think about it. You know, where are they gonna get the materials to create such bombs? Right? Number one. And secondly, who's gonna engineer such thing with the weather permitting and make sure that it lands here and it blows up? And secondly, I mean, thirdly, if they have, like, what is it? Like, I just don't understand. Why would they do that? Why would they bomb here if they have citizens living here that they care about? And the only reason they're threatening you and trying to kill you is because they want to move in there. They're gonna ruin the property there and kill the people that are already there, even though the only reason that they're threatening you is because they have people living there on their own free will, by the way. And then they're gonna just ruin everything for themselves. This is their plan. They're suicide packs. They're suiciders. With suicide bombers. Is that what the Suicide Squad movie was about? Suicide bombers? I think so. Yeah, they're suicide bombers or terrorists. I don't think those guys are very adept or skilled at anything because they're just so angry all the time, too emotional to be skilled at being able to even. Like, let's say they even had that or something. Like, how is it gonna be powerful enough to make any sort of damage? And also, how are you gonna like have the like accuracy and like the clear head required for such shooting for weapons and stuff? The answer is that they're lying. They ain't got shit. But yeah, I'm putting the Americans and natives here. You guys did not kill these people. You're the one with the power and authority here. You're supposed to kill them a while ago. The minute they stepped out of line, you're supposed to be like, Shata, Shata, you are done for. Like, don't ever fucking speak again. If your family come after me, you know what? I'm gonna tell your entire country one go, I'm gonna kill you and your family for getting into debt with me, and it's been 2 weeks since you pay me back. Fuck you. And then you just kill them and their family, and they'll get the message. And then you're supposed to send them, deport them after immediately. Okay? It's just like, why? It's because you didn't do that because you're fucking lazy. That's the American stereotype, a lazy American. Okay, they don't want to. Like, they'll do everything to avoid work. Literally. Everything they can, everything they do in life is to have all this wealth and material belongings. They are not ever going to share it with you because you're not American like them. And it's only so that they don't have to work that hard. I think the Europeans were talking shit about the ages ago with the ant and the grasshopper. Yeah, they're like trying to call each other creepy or whatever when it's actually Europeans that got kind of creepy. Yeah, they're the immigrants that come here. Well, I guess some Americans are creepy too. It's just not to that extent. I think white people are creepy. I don't know. It's just forcing me to speak their language and just intruding on my livelihood and saying that it's okay to do those things because I'm not white. It sounds a little delusional to me. But yeah, I'm just like, why aren't you guys doing anything? Why are they still alive here? Like, I'm sorry, do you like these people? You like them? Like, you're gonna love them and look after them, and you know, when the government that was agreed to be here fails, you're gonna put in your own wealth and thing into feeding them. That's what you're gonna do. You're saying you're gonna share your things now? No? So what is it? What's your end game here? Just bring a fucking bunch of prostitutes over for what reason? And let them still live here, why? It doesn't sound like you knew what you were doing. That's all I gotta say. They didn't know what they were doing, to be fair. So probably didn't want to insult them by doing better than they were, saying, we don't know what we're doing either. Yeah, no, they're lazy. That's a stereotype, honestly. They're not really greedy, like, they're like, you know when like some guys are like, hey, like, you wanna be my friend, and then like they offer to buy you all your stuff, and they're like, yeah, no, I gotta use this too sometimes. Like, hey, let me borrow the thing that I just bought you. I'll be back with it in a couple of weeks. And they're like, did you just befriend me just so you can buy stuff for me, so you don't look like a weirdo, so you can use my stuff without, like, so you don't know mooching off me, but you're still kind of, but like the only reason you want to be friends with me so that was that you can use the stuff that you bought for me, which is technically my stuff. So you were being friends with me so you can use my stuff that you bought. So technically you're not mooching, I guess, but it kind of is. What is that? What is that? It's creepy. Well, thanks for like, oh, hey, you
you know what? I'm gonna buy you an entire computer. I'm like, oh, just okay. Hey, what are you doing? We're friends now. We'll come over to my house like what a month in. Hey, you're ready to switch keys? I'm like, what? You know what, I'll give you a copy of my key. Can I have your key? And I was like, excuse me. And then like a year later, like I just, oh, thanks for coming over. We're using the computer again. What is that? What the fuck is that? Patooey, I spit on you. What is this? Just kidding, I didn't spit. It's nasty. I feel so to spit. Spit inside like a pig. I don't think so.